what are your bonding tips? So I get this question a lot, and I know you and I both have a video on bonding tips, but I want to hear from you. What are your like top tips for anybody who's listening that's like, I have a new bird, or I have a rescue, or I've had a bird for a long time and we're still not bonded. They still don't trust me. Mimi, what do I do?
um, well, the big disclaimer I'm gonna put at the beginning is don't clip their wings. There's this huge misconception that people have where it's like, well, if I clip their wings, they're gonna bond to me easier. That's with fear. Like you're literally tying them down where they're forced to trust you. That is not okay. There's a patience and there's a time for it, and you have to just gain that true trust. So first of all, they're gonna come scared. It's a new place, it's a new person. They don't know what's going on, and you're a giant to them. Like you're not the
Put
same
yourself
size.
in their shoes or in their
Yeah, I would
claws.
be scared too. Giant captors me, and they're like, "You're mine now," and I'm like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. I always compare it to like, I feel like I'm King Kong and Mia's like the little girl whenever I'm holding her, because it's like literally the same ratio.
It's the same ratio. I mean, unless you have a macaw, it's like half your size, but still,
Yeah.
it's the same
But with
thing.
small parrots or even medium-sized parrots, I
Yeah.
feel like, yeah, it's scary for them. But I also want to throw in with wing clipping, like avoiding wing clipping is the best way to go, because there's no reason to take away what makes a bird, and that's flight.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
there are other things that we can do to prevent them from flying away. And there's other things we can do to bond with them and build trust. So putting up nets and mesh on
Yes.
all your windows and doors, being very like vigilant of like, oh, there's a delivery person at the door. I have to open the door. Then I need to put my bird in the bird room or in
Yeah.
their cage.
Mhm.
Like make sure that you're aware of these kinds of things. Put stickers or like blinds on the windows so they avoid,
Mhm.
flying into the windows and things like this. And I think that it's just important to also do like things like recall training and just
Mhm.
really focusing on all of these little things. And over time, you're going to not have to worry about, oh, my bird's going to fly away or they don't trust me. So back to you on bonding.
Yeah. Back to me on which topic because I can go on both.
So tell us your bonding tips.
Okay. So then, after giving them some time to get used to everything, and you see that they're not like hiding in a corner of their cage, you can definitely start. I always tell people, talk to them. Just talk to them really softly. Be like, hey, like introduce yourself. Be like, how are you doing? Like, put some calming music if you have to. Just like keep at a distance. Don't like a lot of people start touching the cage, trying to grab the bird, and it's like,
Putting their
oh,
fingers through.
yes, like don't do that. This cage is now their room, basically. It shouldn't be a
Mm.
prison. It should be like their room, and you don't want to invade that space because that's their safe zone right now. And so then afterwards, I always say once you're comfortable, make sure your room is like safe, like the windows are closed, the blinds are closed so they can't bump to the window. They have the doors closed. Keep them in one room and start opening their cage and let them know that they have the freedom to come out. And don't grab them, don't like harass them or anything, and just keep talking to them quietly. Some birds might fly, and you should give them like just space to just like roam around. They might go up somewhere and just let them like feel that freedom, and then they will eventually come back to the cage. Like they need to eat, they need to do stuff, and then you can start offering them treats or something nice with your hands, and they might not take it. They might just be like, yeah, no, I'm good. But then if you do this every day and slowly start offering them things, then they're gonna start, you know, getting used to that and getting used to your hand, and then slowly they'll start going on your hand. And one of the weird tricks I have is to put their food on like a plate or bowl on top of their cage. This
Okay.
one is like
And
a really
why?
random one. So I discovered this because they eat on top of my cage, and I just discovered that when they have it on top, they know that to come back, kind of thing. So they know
Mm.
that that's their food and it's very visible, so they don't feel like if sometimes when they fly out, they might not want to go back in, but if they come back to that space where their food is very visible and out there, they start to get accustomed to being out of their cage but not running away from it, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. So it's like a weird little like tip that I have. But yeah, you just keep getting them used to your hands. Don't shove it, don't force it, and eventually they'll get on. Talk to them softly, and that's usually like the way I go with recommending people to bond with their bird. It might be a little different than maybe other things, but I've just found that that works pretty well.
Yeah, I think that those are all really great tips because you're moving slowly, you're being like really gentle, and we also have to be mindful that, like you said, we're these giants, everything is new, and change can be scary for birds. And they are also predator animals. So they're trying to figure out like what's safe, who can I trust? And it's going to take them time to, build that trust with you. And with some birds, it might take a couple of weeks. Like with Mia, the trust building like started like on day one. Like it
Yeah.
was like very quick with her, but I know that from other people's experiences it can also take months. But you just have to be consistent, and you have to understand that if you want a bird, then you need to have patience, because I know that this is something you and I both talk about a lot. They are like toddlers.